Welcome to this new video where we're going to talk about the latest news regarding Forza Horizon 6. There's gameplay now. It's finally here. Finally, we got a 9-minute long gameplay video that was published on YouTube. It's the first time we really see actual gameplay of the game without an interruption every 10 seconds. So, it's really cool because it lets us see more of the game. And in this video, I'm going to summarize all the new features we can spot in this gameplay, all the little hidden details. There are a lot of really cool things. There are also some negative points that are starting to show up with this gameplay. So, it'll be up to you to tell me in the comments what you think about it. In any case, obviously the first thing that stands out is that it's beautiful. But I want to say that's not really a surprise because Forza Horizon games have always been very beautiful. They've always been generally ahead of their time. It's true that this one, Forza Horizon 6, seems to push the bar even a little further than Forza Horizon 5, which was already an absolutely gorgeous game. Here we really have high-quality environments that look ultra-detailed. Both the vegetation, which seems very dense, and the more urban areas, with buildings that also seem to be quite well detailed, all different from each other, with all kinds of decorations, advertisements, movie posters, signs. It honestly looks pretty clean in that regard, and the same goes for the sound. I'm going to let you listen to a bit of gameplay without any commentary, so you can enjoy the sound of this car's V8 engine, the Saleen S7. The sound, I must say, seems pretty nice, as usual. With Forza Horizon, it's hard to know before the game is released how many cars have benefited from new sound modeling. The car sounds in Forza Horizon 5 weren't bad, but there were still improvements made on certain models. Will all of them benefit from a completely redone sound from scratch? Or is it just a few models that will benefit from it? Perhaps the Saleen S7 was picked for the trailer for that reason. It sounds good and seems easy to handle. That's part of it. I find some pretty positive things that have been confirmed by this gameplay, especially the first bits of gameplay we've seen from Forza Horizon 6. The sequence with the Lancer on one of the game's tracks looked really strange. It felt like the car was really light, like it was possible to take super tight turns at completely ridiculous speeds. That seems to be much less the case here. In any case, Forza Horizon 6 is a game aimed at a wide audience. We're not dealing with a sim here. It's a game that's pretty arcade-style so that everyone can easily get the hang of the cars and have fun playing. We'll need to see how it feels initially, whether using a controller or steering wheel. But it's true that, just judging by the camera movement and what we already know about Forza Horizon, it doesn't look very different from Forza Horizon 5. If you liked driving in Forza Horizon 5, you likely won't be disappointed by Forza Horizon 6, as it has a similar style. This gameplay focuses mainly on urban sequences. We really see for the first time what the city in Forza Horizon 6 is going to look like. And it's true that it looks huge. We're not used to having such big cities. On Forza Horizon, developers said Tokyo in Forza Horizon 6 would be 5 times larger than Guanajuato in Forza Horizon 5. And it's true that until we've seen it with our own eyes, it's hard to realize just how much bigger it is. And now, when it's right in front of us, when we see the number of buildings, when we see that behind the tall buildings, there are even more. And behind those, there are still more houses. There are still industrial areas and commercial zones behind that. It really gives the impression of a big city, which I think we've never had in Forza Horizon before, and honestly, it's really great. It was really something that was highly requested by the community. However, let's get right to it. One of the main negative points I noticed from this gameplay is that even though the city is huge, and even though we see in this gameplay the car going through a bunch of highways, which are actually pretty cool, we find the highways, let's say the somewhat traditional ones, that go around Tokyo. You know, the ones surrounded by those tall concrete walls. The Tokyo Ring Road, but also a whole bunch of highways, bridges, and even multi-level highways. With, those famous spiral ramps that are super cool and that we don't get to see in France, for example. So, all of that does seem pretty cool, but what seems less cool is that the map, or rather the traffic, looks empty. So, I hope that's because they're still optimizing the game, and that eventually, before the game is released, they'll take advantage of this better optimization to increase the number of people on the roads. Since there are currently fewer than in Forza Horizon 5, despite being in one of the world's most densely populated cities. It honestly feels weird, like an apocalypse turned it into a ghost town. It's strange. In Horizon 5, the desert vibe fit the map. But here, it just doesn't work for me. I hope traffic increases 4 or 5 times by the final release. Since the roads are so wide, it can get a bit boring, even in the mountains. For me, that's a minor downside from this gameplay. Now, let's discuss the positives. Even in the mountains, from what we've seen so far, the roads seem to be very wide. I wasn't expecting super narrow roads, though. Just like in real life, honestly, but here, the lane widths are massive, in my opinion. I hope that's not the case everywhere. I'm thinking maybe it's like this because we're only just getting into the countryside and the mountains near the city. I hope that in the more remote areas, we'll find narrower paths than this. Not necessarily for realism, but mainly because visually it's a bit more believable. And also because having narrower roads forces you to focus more on driving and actually improve your lines, simply put. Other than that, I have almost nothing but positive things to say about this gameplay. Overall, there are quite a few little details that are pretty interesting in this gameplay. For example, there are plenty of gas stations in the city. We saw at least 3 during the playthrough. Here's a quick note. At first glance, the gas stations or fuel stations aren't functional. Forza players have long requested more realistic RP features. For example, managing the vehicle with the requirement to refuel, or at least the option to enable that requirement. That doesn't seem to be the case, for the simple reason that, for now, on the minimap near the stations, there are no small icons. There's no logo that would suggest you can interact with anything, so maybe when you're inside, a button appears to refuel. But honestly, given how Forza Horizon is, I'd tend to say we shouldn't expect too much in that regard. Another thing confirmed with this gameplay is the return of street races. Let's just say these are races with a slightly less official vibe than the standard Forza Horizon ones. These are races that often take place at night, where the traffic isn't closed off, whereas normally, in standard road races, there's no traffic. So here, traffic races are back, the logo is there, and it's also confirmed. Horizon boards and XP boards are also back. These are collectible boards you can find by exploring the map, which help you earn, for example, XP. But they also help reduce the cost of fast travel. Because normally in Forza Horizon you can fast travel almost anywhere on the map, but it costs money, and at the beginning, it's expensive. And to lower this price until it's completely free, you have to collect these little boards. Now, I don't know if they'll serve the same purpose in Forza Horizon 6 here, they just have the same logo. I think that'll be the case. It's also possible that these boards, like in Forza Horizon 1, could affect the price of certain equipment. I recall that in Forza Horizon 1, there were boards you could smash to lower activity prices. But for cars, for example, we might have a similar system. Either way, farming boards seem to be back. It's also confirmed that when we discover new areas, we'll get little stamps that will add up. And once we've reached the right number of stamps, we'll unlock a new feature in the game. Quite interestingly, discovering a new area will also give you money. It will offer 5,000 credits, so it's both a lot and not a lot, since 5,000 credits isn't enough to buy a car. In Forza Horizon, the cheapest ones are usually about 20,000. It's a bit surprising since developers said economy in Forza Horizon 6 would be harder than in Horizon 5. We'll have to see what the remaining rewards are like. The presence of 2 stories is also confirmed, in my opinion, right from the launch of the game. The first one, I think, will be a story that takes you across the map and lets you discover its main locations, with an NPC for now, who will explain a bit about Japanese culture and its main customs, for example, but also its automotive traditions. A second story is confirmed, but when I see the title, I wonder if motorcycles are included. We'll have to wait and see. There's a story with a camera logo, which might make you think it's about photographers. We had a bit of that in Forza Horizon 5 in that sense, except here, the name of the discovered chapter is called Automotozine. So, zine, I guess, is short for magazine. Maybe it's a story a bit like Need for Speed Underground, where you can take pictures of your car to have it featured in magazines. So, maybe that's it, and Automoto Magazine could just be a reference to a real magazine, but maybe the moto refers to something completely different, maybe to the presence of motorcycles in the game, and the fact that motorcycles are in the game. It's something that's been teased several times, it's never been confirmed, but that's what we have. We've seen motorcycles shown several times in different teasers for the game, even scooters. And there are plenty of other things that, when you put them all together, make you think that, in the end, motorcycles might be in Forza Horizon. It might happen with Horizon 6, and by the way, we'll talk about that a bit, one of these days in a video. That doesn't mean it's going to be confirmed, it's just, let's say, quite a surprising coincidence. So, yeah, these are the main things to remember from this new gameplay and everything that's been confirmed. There's one thing I don't really understand for now. It's that on the map, we see a lot of little icons. Let's say little faces in round shapes and in triangular shapes. It always seems to be near houses, but I don't think these are houses you can buy or anything like that. Because elsewhere, on the minimap, we see a house icon. So clearly, that will be the house. If you have any idea what this could be, feel free to leave a comment. In general, I would tend to say that when you look at the detailed gameplay, you realize that there are a lot of confirmed things that are cool. On the other hand, I think this gameplay published by IGN is bad. What I don't understand is that we were supposed to learn more things about the game. It was planned that we would have a focus on the upgrade system, and that we would have a focus on the events in the open world. And in the end, it's just someone driving around the map for 10 minutes with a Celine S7. I think this isn't a good representation of the game. That can be appealing in some ways, but off-putting in others. And while there's maximum hype around the game, They could have done something crazy. They could have really driven the point home and released some crazy gameplay with other features. In the end, we have pretty average gameplay. So yes, we can see the city, and yes, it's massive. At the same time, it's so empty when it comes to NPCs that it's hard to get a clear opinion on this gameplay. So, let me know what you think in the comments. In any case, feel free to leave a like on this video to help its ranking. It's always appreciated, and it supports my channel. You can subscribe for upcoming videos, and you can also join me on Twitch for the next live streams. Don't hesitate to follow me using the link that will be in the pinned comment. You can also use Prime to support my channel. See you tomorrow, or possibly even tonight, with more information. The developers are sharing short updates on their website and forum to explain various game features. Anyway, what I have to say overall is that I'm glad to see some gameplay, but honestly, the gameplay they showed really left me completely unsatisfied. See you tomorrow. Bye.